All right, chain rule 4 review. It's PSAT day. I know this doesn't match over here, so we'll just call this 2.6. Chain rule 4 review. You're not writing digitally, but I get to. Okay, so find dy dx. We're not going to be silly and write y prime. It literally says find dy dx. Okay, so structure here, y equals cosine cubed. Maybe we don't always need to write this, but if you're not sure, this actually means y equals cosine of x, and that whole thing is cubed. So dy dx, the derivative of something cubed, is 3 times that same something squared. That something is cosine of x, which has a rate of change of negative sine of x. So instead of writing negative sign at the end, I'll just put the negative at the beginning. So ideally, we could jump over those two intermediate lines and just get to negative 3 cosine squared x sine of x. If you're not there, don't worry, but I just wanted to make sure you know cosine cubed. Okay, so slightly different, and boy, this feels like exit tickets I'm doing. All right, so the derivative of cosine of something, right, the outer thing is cosine here, is negative sine of that same something. That something is x cubed, which has a rate of change of 3x squared, and probably the best way to write that is negative 3x squared sine of x cubed. The nice thing about recording these is I know how long it would take me to do the homework, and I'm talking through it, so that gives me a good feeling for how long these should take you as compared to how long they do take you. All right, so structure-wise, this is a product of two functions, 2x and sine of 3x. So we need to take the derivative of a product of two functions, which is the first function, times the derivative of the second function. The derivative of sine of something is cosine of that same something. That something is 3x, which has a rate of change of 3. Plus the second function, sine of 3x, times the derivative of the first 2. All right, so let's rearrange just a little bit to make that cleaner. 6x cosine of 3x plus 2 sine of 3x. Not much simplifying we can do. All right, hopefully you have in fact memorized the derivative of the square root. Clearly the square root is the outermost thing. You know, we have a chain rule, so I'm going to leave that numerator blank. Instead of writing 1, I'll just write my chain rule stuff up there. So the derivative of the square root of something is 1 over 2 times the square root of that something. That something is 3x squared. Ooh, pen's going slow. Plus 2x plus 1, which has a rate of change. And normally I'd write that derivative over here, and then times the 1. I'm just going to put everything in the numerator. 3x squared plus 2x plus 1, which has a rate of change of 6x plus 2. We might as well divide out that 2, 3x plus 1, over the square root of 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. All right, clearly cosine is the outer function here. Oh, dang. Am I using dy dx on all of these? I think I am. Yeah, okay. Hey, I'm getting used to writing digitally. Is that as big as I can go? I'm trying to zoom in, but it won't. Huh. Okay, well. So the derivative of cosine of something is negative sine of that same something. I'm leaving a blank because I know I'm going to have a chain rule, and I'm going to put it in front to save myself some algebra. And that something is x squared plus 8, which has a rate of change of 2x. Cool. Saving effort. Woo! All right. The derivative of sine of something, and we're dealing, with this outer sign first, is cosine of that same something. And that something is sine of something else, which has a rate of change of cosine of that something else, and that something else is 6x, which has a rate of change of 6. You can't combine anything because this first cosine has an input of sine, and the second cosine has a different input. So we can't write cosine squared or something like that. Ooh, square root again. And the derivative of a square root is 1 over 2 times the square root. But again here I know I'm going to have a chain rule, so I'll leave that numerator blank. And that something is 3x cubed minus 2, which has a rate of change of 9x squared. Ooh, no simplification. Getting quicker. The derivative of cotangent of something is negative leave a space for my chain rule, is negative cosecant squared of that same something. That something is 3x minus 1, which has a rate of change of 3. Is that it? It is! There are the answers down below if you haven't already figured that out. Dot minus, I clearly didn't make this. Ugh, gross. Alright. 5 minutes, 45 seconds. Nice and quick.